Hello everyone, I'm your hostess with the mostest, 8-Second Gaming, and in today's video we are going to be talking about 4 ultimates that everyone is using wrong. Not using an ability properly or not using it to the fullest extent is going to absolutely hinder your climbs, but don't worry, I'm here to help you out. And if you guys are serious about taking your Apex skill to the next level, then you need to check out the GameLeap website right now. Over there we have top level coaches, including myself, creating the best, most highly informative guides possible. Doesn't matter if you want to get better positioning, decision making, aim, or even learn a new legend, we've got you covered. So click the link in the description, pick yourself up a membership, and start to improve today. But okay, with that covered, let's jump straight into things. And the first legend we got to talk about is Ashe. Now Ashe's ultimate is extremely flexible. It can be used in a multitude of different ways. But the one that I'm going to be talking about is when people use it as an escape tool, because most of the time they're not using it in the right situation or scenarios. Now because of the way that Ashe's kit is designed, she has a ton of flexibility when she has her ultimate up in terms of what you can do in fights. Most of the time, legends can play split from their team, but they can't play extremely far. The only legend that can technically really play super far from their team most of the time is Wraith, because her phase cooldown is extremely low. But when Ashe's ultimate is up, she can actually play somewhat on par with Wraith with how far she can get away from her team. This allows you to take extremely hard off angles and still be perfectly fine. You can be so far away from your team, creating great crossfire potential, and if the enemy team ever thinks about trying to single you out and goes to commit on you, then you have the perfect escape tool with your ultimate. You can get back to your team in the blink of an eye, and if the enemy team tries to follow you, then they are landing smack dab in the middle of your team with no way to back out. Ashe's ultimate is a one-way street, so when they come out, they're there. When people use Ashe, they think of her ultimate as just a very one-dimensional tool. You can either use it to be offensive or you can use it to be defensive. There's no other way to play around it. But Ashe's kit gives her a lot of opportunities when it comes to playing, and if you want to actually be a better Ashe main, you have to use this thinking outside the box. Her kit is designed to be offensive and aggressive, so start using it like that and use your ult to get back to your team instead of just using it to escape with your entire team. You'll win a lot more fights this way. Moving forward though, our next legend we got to be talking about is Fuse. Now Fuse's ultimate right now in the current state of the game is absolutely horrible. Almost every single team comp that you're going to be going up against has movement to get their entire team out of a situation, like a Fuse ultimate. The 3 most popular legends as of recording this are Pathfinder, Octane, and Wraith. All 3 of those characters have a way to get your entire team out of a situation. Wraith has her portal, Octane has his pad, Pathfinder has his zipline. And you also have characters that have their own movement abilities to get themselves out of the fire. But on top of that, if you are able to react fast enough, the fire actually does not start before you can get out of the circle. So if you have the reaction time, just run out of it. Fuse's ultimate is meant to corral people. It's meant to hold them in place and make it so it's very hard for them to escape. But the way that it's designed and the way that the game is working right now, you can't just shoot it on top of somebody. It's not going to keep them still. So instead, what you have to do is use it to block off rotations. Use it to funnel people, because even if they might have some team mobility like an Octane jump pad, the distance that they have to cover with the entire ring of fire is just too much. So if you use it to block off a choke point or a rotation route while you're in the middle of a fight, forcing that team to fight you because they have no escape route now, it's going to land you a lot more consistent fights and a lot more consistent plays. Way too many Fuse players try to launch their ultimate right on top of a team, they walk right out of it, and now you have to deal with that mother load as well. If you walk right into them, you're going to get the damage, you're going to get the downsides, and the enemy team might even turn that on you. So instead, just use it to make it so the enemy team has to fight you. And especially right now in the meta when teams are just ratting and trying to run away from fights, you can use it to just absolutely steamroll teams. But now we can move into our third legend, and this is the big boy himself, Gibby. Now Gibraltar has seen a massive dip in play in the last couple seasons. He's just not as strong as he used to be, but something that is always going to be strong is his ultimate. But again, like Fuse's ultimate, I see way too many people try to use Gibraltar's ultimate just by throwing it straight at somebody. But he falls into the same trap that Fuse falls into. Gibraltar's ultimate circle is not that big, and it does take a few seconds before the bombs actually start to do any damage. So if the other team has any form of movement or just any brain cells, they're going to get out of that circle as soon as they possibly can. That leaves Gibraltar out a very hard-hitting ultimate ultimate and also does slow down his progress of the push a little bit because you have to wait for that ultimate to end. This can be a huge hit to your team because now you don't have that ultimate to potentially ward off a third party or to use in just other situations that could arise. The way that you have to use Gibraltar's ultimate right now in order to actually get a lot of usefulness out of it is exactly the way that I described fuses. You have to use it to funnel teams. A lot of the times in fights, if teams can't do exactly what they want it to do, they start to panic. So if you cut off rotations, especially with a heavy hitting ultimate like Gibraltar's, they're going to have some miscommunications. Maybe somebody's going to try and run through it. They're going to be free kill. Maybe the team is going to split up because they don't know exactly where to go. There's going to be a lot of chaotic comms or even no comms. You can then take advantage of this, wipe up some free kills, and just continue to roll on with the game. Gibraltar has a very flexible ultimate, and you do need to be using it in a bunch of different situations, but don't throw it straight at somebody unless they are completely pinned and cannot move. That's just a waste of it. They're going to get out of it. You're not going to get any usefulness out of that ultimate, and it's better off to just be saved in that situation. But if you can, cut off a rotation, get some free kills. And the last legend that we got to talk about when it comes to using ultimates incorrectly is the OG Portal Queen herself, Wraith. Now yes, Wraith's Portal is fantastic in a multitude of situations. You can use it in so many different ways. Really, the only limitation is your imagination. But you always have to be boiling down to the basics whenever you use her ultimate. Wraith's Portal is designed to be a team mobility option. While Wraith's job is to be an entry fragger and to be the first one into the fight, you also have to be sort of a team babysitter when you have a mobility option such as her portal. I see way too many people use this portal extremely selfishly. They only think about themselves. They use it to get a little bit of extra mobility because it speeds up their movement. They use it to do a bunch of things that only benefit themselves, and when it comes down to it, they don't have it to help their team later on. Most of the time when you're running Wraith, if you're actually doing a proper team comp, your team is relying on you to have the portal to help them get in and out of spots. If you're rotating and a team starts to pin you down, you need to have that portal to pop to get your team to a new location to potentially stabilize or even just rotate out. And when it comes to endgame situations, if you're in a spot and you need to move, the safest option is always going to be a Wraith portal. You can get you and your entire team to a new spot for free. So as a Wraith player, you always need to have it in the back of your mind to be thinking about your team first. If you're in a situation where you can afford to just pop it, then definitely go for it. Like if your team is holding a spot in zone and a care package is coming down fairly close to you, if you can reach it with your portal and your team doesn't have to go anywhere anytime soon, that still benefits your entire team, so you can use the portal to go get that care package safely and then return that weapon to your team. But if you were to get in a fight and you use your portal to only get a little bit of a speed boost so that you can do like a movement technique or something, that is a selfish way to play. That's typically reserved for pubs or just kind of farming clips like that. It's not usually what you want to do if you're actually going to be playing as a team player. So if you really do want to improve as a Wraith player, always be thinking about your team first whenever you have to use your portal. Unless it is absolutely necessary to save your life, think about it. Do I need this portal to help my team? Can I get away with doing this without using my portal? Just going over checklists like that in your head before you use your ultimate will help you get better at not wasting it. But let me know what ultimate you think people use wrong in the comments down below, and if you guys want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest Apex Legends tips, tricks, and news, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. Thanks all for watching. Once again, mate, taking game, and I'll see you guys in the next one.